the full match plentifully but dedicated.
കർമ്മ ഭക്ഷണം കഴിച്ചേ? നീ എന്താ ഇങ്ങനെ കഴിക്കുന്നത്? മര്യാദയ്ക്ക് കഴിച്ചേ? ഇത് ഷർട്ട് വരെ ആക്കുന്നു.
Stay with me as long as you wish. Why are you not eating fish? Are you on a vegan diet again?
I'm just bored of fish.
So, should I order you something else?
No. I'm good. I'll just have sandwich.
Thank you.
Thanks.
In your childhood, when we used to go fishing, you always put the fish back into the river. And one day your grandfather dived into the river and took a long time coming up. And you started crying. When he finally came up, you hit him.
The next day, he got an aquarium. I would spend hours looking at the fishes. Ajay, do you remember this one particular purple fish which had a yellow tail?
Yes, Barbie fish. That's what you called it. And then there was a short circuit in the house, and they were all electrocuted. How's Brish? Has he found work? He was very worried when I last met him.
He's moving to Bangalore next month. Ma, we broke up recently. I've been meaning to tell you this, but you know, he thinks that I don't love him. Well, I don't disagree. You know, Ma, when we'd met, I thought we were madly in love with each other. But over the years, I think we've explored each other a little too much. It's left absolutely no mystery. I think it's this knowing each other too well that has actually killed the relationship.
Some delusions are necessary. Give yourself some time. No feeling is permanent.
Excuse me. Sorry to bother you. May I?
Yes, please.
Thank you. I'm a student at the Film Institute here, and my actor, an elderly woman, she has disappeared, and I was wondering if you would be interested to act in my film.
I know nothing about acting. I've never acted before.
Do you like cinema?
Nowadays, I don't go to the cinema. But earlier, I used to see films every week. But after my husband passed away, I never went to a cinema hall. So, although I'm not an actor, I do have friends I can put you in touch with who are in theatre.
No. That won't be a problem because I would prefer to work with non-actors, actually.
But what if I make a mistake?
Isn't it beautiful to make mistakes? Sometimes errors can be more truthful than perfection. Once my teacher told me that there is truth in everything, even in a lie. And we must pass through errors and lies to arrive on a truth.
And what might be the truth for you?
Well, to tell the truth, I think that's a futile question. You see, truth is as absurd as a man talking on the telephone behind a glass partition. You cannot hear him talk, but you can see this incomprehensible dumb show. And you wonder why is he even alive.
Maybe he's alive so that someday someone like you will make a film on him.
Well,
Would you care for some juice, some coffee, something to drink?
Thank you, I just had coffee.
So tell me a little more about your film. What would I have to do in it?
Sure. So you'll be playing this role of a grandmother who's talking to her granddaughter, who is confused between two men.
Choosing someone is so difficult.
Right. And as Kamu says, we always deceive ourselves twice about the people we love. First, to their advantage, and then to the disadvantage.
I hope you weren't eavesdropping on a conversation.
All filmmakers are eavesdroppers.
And attention seekers, is it?
It's not love that we are seeking, but attention. In fact, in my film, there's a character who suffers from the same dilemma.
Would you like another cup of coffee?
No, thanks. Actually, I'd like to get out. I need some fresh air. Would you like to join me outside?
Sure.
Then you can also narrate your story.
Would love to.
I'll finish the coffee and join you.
Okay.
Primitive magic. Death is the reality, regeneration is the magic.
Every time I come here, I sit on this bench and look at this tree.
In Bengali, we call it Krishna Chura.
My husband was very fond of it. Every morning we would sit together and look at this tree. Sometimes the entire tree would be covered with red flowers. Even before the leaves appeared, slowly the flowers would disappear and the leaves would cover the entire tree.
So how did you meet your husband?
You're not going to believe this, but we met at a police station. We were protesting against labor law, and the police had detained all the protesters.
That's interesting. What did he do?
He was a journalist. He was writing a report for a newspaper. We met and fell in love and got married. But after 7 years, we realized that we didn't love each other anymore. He married a friend of mine, and I married a distant cousin. But 3 years after our second marriage, we met again and rediscovered love and got remarried.
That's nice.
What about you? You're a handsome man. Haven't you loved anybody?
I was deeply in love with this one girl, and I thought she was too. And then one fine day, she just left me without a single word. I waited for 2 years, but I still don't have a reason. For me, she doesn't exist anymore. You know, I have a confession to make. I lied. I'm just playing a role here.
As you said, lies can be truer than the truth.